All right, we're live again. Twice this week. So my plan with these lives is to go live at 10:45 Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And it'll be on Facebook, LinkedIn, and sometimes I'm going to go live to YouTube. So I don't know where you're watching this, but what I would love to ask you to do right now is if you are watching this live, when you leave a comment, because I know you're going to leave a comment because you're a wonderful human being, when you leave a comment, write the word live somewhere so I know that you watched this live. And I would just appreciate that because it helps me understand, are people watching this live? Are they watching it later? I know when they're not watching it because they don't comment, they don't interact. I'm putting these out for you so you can learn more about breathing, about wellness, about health, about focus. And I'm going to talk largely, widely, broadly about different topics. And I'm only going to talk for 15 minutes. The crows are in the background going completely crazy, so if you like crows, that's probably great for you. And if you don't, I can't do anything about it. They're miles away and I don't have a shotgun. I wouldn't do that anyway. Just kidding. All right, so today I want to talk about something that's really interesting. It's come up a number of times that I've been working with people in private. Now, if you don't know, I offer one-on-one breath coaching sessions. They go for an hour. Until the end of the Australian winter, they're $100 Australian. And if you want to book in, just get in touch. Now, you can leave a comment if you don't know how to get in touch with me, or you can message me on any of the socials and I will get back to you personally. Me, no one else. So what's been coming up lately is in and around the idea of state change, shifting state. So I want to get into that today because if you can learn how to shift your state at will, then you set yourself up to find the space and have the opportunities to make a big difference in your health, your wellness, and your performance. And I'm going to speak to how you can do that with the breath and why the breath is the simplest way for you to change state. Another option is coffee, but it changes state in a different way. So what I mean by change state is simply shifting the experience that you're having right now. Now, when most people think about changing state, they think about changing what's going on between the ears. What I want to kick off with is why that may not be the best way to go about changing state. You can't outthink your thinking. I'm going to say that again. You can't outthink your thinking. If you are already overwhelmed, if you are already overthinking, if you are already judging and getting stuck in those mental loops, adding more thinking is not going to help you. So trying to shift your state by the power of your psychology, your mindset, may not be terribly easy for you. Now, for some people it is, and more power to those people. What my job is, as a breath coach, if you want to call me that, is to find the simplest way to help you shift your state so that then you can improve those three things again: health, wellness, and performance. And I want to show you how to do that without you having to worry about any mental gymnastics or anything like that. So we're going to get into an idea of a technique in a little bit. You might be wondering, how do I shift my state if I don't do it mentally? Well, you have one other option that's probably the most obvious and the one that I'm going to talk about today, and that is shifting the state in your body. How do you do that? We'll get to that soon. I just did it then. Okay. Why did I just do it like that? Because it's subtle. You may have picked that up and then someone else who watches this video later on doesn't. Maybe you'll watch the video again and you'll see what I just did. You can change your state just like that. Now, what do we really mean when we talk about changing state? What we're talking about is managing or influencing the nervous system. Now, when we think about the nervous system, there are effectively two modes. I'm going to stay quite high level because let's not get stuck in minutiae. Let's actually learn some stuff today. I'll give you some stuff that you can practice And then you test it for yourself, see what works for you, because this is all experiential. Having the book smarts, the cerebral knowledge is not what you're after here. You're after experiential knowledge, the experience, the ability to change state. So, 2 modes of the nervous system, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic. The sympathetic mode of the nervous system is your fight-flight response. Some would say also freeze. Freezing is not so good, but fight-flight. So people who are anxious, people who are scared, people who are fighting, people who are running away from lions, fight-flight response. Very, very important. You need it. It's great to visit there when you need that mode. It's not so good when you're stuck there. You don't want to live there. You want to visit. You don't want to live there. Then we have the parasympathetic nervous system. We can think about this as the rest and digest nervous system. This is where we want to spend most of our time. Now think about a lion again. They spend most of their time in rest digest. Now, when they need to get excited, because they're going on a hunt, they're going to shift over to fight-flight. But most of the time, they're chilling out and relaxing. They're in their parasympathetic. Same is true of the animals the lions might hunt. A zebra. Zebra's chilling out in rest and digest, just grazing all day until a lion pops up, and then they go, rightio, it's time to flight. Because, fighting a lion's not a real good thing. But they don't stay there. If they don't get caught, good news, and they need to get back over into their rest digest, you'll see them, and you see this on documentaries all the time. They shake their body around. They get rid of all of that energy, that nervous energy, whatever energy it might be. Boom, they switch over. That's what they do for state change. Big somatic shake. You can remember that as well, because you can use it. Even though you're clothed and you've done your hair really nicely, you are still an animal. Hate to point it out to you. But you can shake somatically to change state. So that's one way you can do it. But it's not about breathing. It's not my area of expertise. So it's not what I'm talking about today. But you could use it, okay? And you can try it anytime you want. If you get a little bit stressed out or anxious or tired or whatever, move your body about. Now, I'm going to do a little bit of a flashback. If you watched my last live on Monday, we talked about Chit Shakti Prakriya practice, which at the gross level is moving the arms. Now there's some subtlety there that I'm not speaking about today and I didn't introduce on Monday, but I will talk about soon. This big movement here on the gross level is helping you change state. Think about what's going on in your body. Your blood's flowing faster, your heart's going faster, your lungs are working faster. What's going on in your mind? That's for you to determine yourself by doing that practice. And there's, as I say, amazing stuff going on the subtle, more subtle levels. But I digress. When we are anxious, when we're stressed, when you're having an asthma attack, when you've got performance anxiety, you are in a state that is unhelpful to you right now. If you can learn how to shift that state, and you can do it consistently, you give yourself the space to make better decisions. This is amazing for people who run their own business because it's an overwhelming activity running one's own business. It's also true if you have social anxiety, if you are not confident around other people. Same thing's true. We don't have to label everything. Anytime you are in a state that you don't want to be in, or you would prefer to shift it, you can do that with the breath. So without further ado, let me just introduce the simplest way you can change your state. This is not a practice. There is no counting. There is no pattern. There are 2 things for you to do. And I guarantee you, if you pay attention, you will notice a shift. What I can't tell you is how long you will need to do what I'm about to introduce for you to notice that shift. But it will happen. I'm yet to be proven wrong. This is based on physiology and psychology. It's not just one, it is both. There is always a shift. It may be subtle, it may be significant. First thing, shut your pretty little mouth. Boom, shut your mouth. Why? Because you move to nose breathing. Now have a think about that for a moment. Why would that be important? When you're anxious, when you're in fight, flight, when you're running for your life, when you're fighting, You breathe big because it's important. You will open your mouth and you'll take in those big ones. And that is perfectly okay and indeed thoroughly acceptable because you need to do it. So your body knows that when you're breathing through your mouth, something big is happening. And it's highly likely that you'll switch over into fight-flight, into your sympathetic nervous system. The opposite's also true. Your body knows that when you're breathing through your nose, it's highly likely that you're calm, that you're more likely to be shifting into parasympathetic, to rest and digest. Because if you needed the other breathing, the big breathing, you'd open your mouth. So just the simple activity of closing the mouth helps you start to shift over into your parasympathetic. You are giving your body a signal that you are calm. You're interrupting what's going on. And you are giving your body a signal that you are calm. Now, when you breathe through your nose, you slow the air down somewhat. The velocity at which the air goes in, instead of the air being all over the place with the big pulling in of air in the mouth, as it comes in through your nose, all that turbulence is calmed down. The air's also warmed and moistened. It's filtered. All of these wonderful things happening. When you use your nose, because those little nose holes are so much smaller than your big mouth hole, the resistance on the air is increased. This is actually a good thing because it recruits your diaphragm muscle, which is that big breathing muscle. It's just sitting below your ribs there that pulls down so you can get a deep breath in. And what happens there is it helps you oxygenate the blood in a more effective and efficient manner. But it's also a deeper calming breath. So you've done nothing but shut your mouth, and all of a sudden you've got most of the benefit. Now you might be saying, yeah, that's all well and good, that's all happening physiologically, but psychologically I'm still buzzing. Okay, so we need a new focal point. And the focal point is the breath. And all you need to do is turn your awareness, or you might say your attention, or become more mindful of the language. Just let go of that for the moment. Focus on your breath. And I would suggest you focus on it right here, right on the tip of your nose. Start to feel the breath going in and the breath going out. And that will give you something to focus on. And as your body starts to relax and inform your mind that indeed you are relaxing and you are calming down, you also have this singularity of focus which starts to push aside all of the other stuff that's going on in your head. And you can do that for 10 seconds. You can do it for a minute. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I don't know how long that you will need for this to create that state change. I'm going to tell you right now that within that first minute a state change has occurred. Whether you feel that state change, I can't tell you. I don't know. But that's all you need to do. It's the simplest way I've ever discovered to change your state. You don't have to worry about process, visualization, doing it right, wrong, counting 18 steps into something that some new age guru gave you. You don't have to do any of that. All you have to do is close your mouth and focus on your breath. It doesn't even matter where in your body you're focusing on the breath. This will bring about state change. Now, you can believe me or not, and it doesn't matter because the breath will prove itself to you. So my invitation today is at any time today when you want to do it, stop, close your mouth, and focus on your breathing. You can do this in the middle of a busy office. You can do it while you're buying your next coffee. You can do it while you're driving. Just be safe if you're driving, okay? Don't focus too much on your breath. Focus on the road. What I'm saying is it's so simple. It can almost be background and you can change your state. You can calm yourself down. You can use this before you're going into an important meeting, a hot date, anything. And no one needs to know you're doing it. If you want to do a formal practice, sit on a cushion, sit on your chair, lie down on a yoga mat, whatever you want to do. And you will notice something. So I'm going to leave it there. We're talking about state change. State change is all about calming down the nervous system. The nervous system sends a message up to the brain to say you are calm. Then you have the space and the opportunity to do whatever work that you need to do. Maybe you need to do some breathing to help with your asthma. Maybe you need to make a decision for work. I don't know. My name's Adam Stanecki. I'm the Breath Geek. I am available for one-on-one coaching, $100 a session until the end of August. And if you've got any questions, they're for free. Just ask. So I'm almost at 15 minutes. I said I was going to keep it short and sharp and snappy. Thanks for watching the live. Please comment, please like, please tell your friends. breathe easy, and I will talk to you on Friday. Thank you very much.